who you are. It's not what I feel inside me. That's really not who I am. Who I am is how I interact with the world, how I interact with the institutions around me. This is what helps create me, shape me, and make me who I am. And so what I feel on the inside of me is significantly less important than what I do and how I act in the world around me. I keep going back to what is the ultimate purpose of human life.
Yeah.
You know, the way that I like to think about it, if you go to a cemetery and you look at the headstones, that's the purpose of human life. Every headstone says the same thing. Beloved father, beloved brother, beloved mother, rabbi, priest, right? Particular roles, teacher, right? Things that you did, roles that you filled for other people. You know what it doesn't say? How you felt about yourself. It doesn't say any of that crap on a tombstone. Because guess what? Nobody remembers that stuff. That's not the stuff that mattered about you. What you felt was not what mattered about you. What your relationship was with the world and the roles that you filled, that the world needed you to fill. That's that you were, by the way, forget about God for a second, that you were built by evolutionary biology to fill. Right? Those roles are vital. And if we deprive ourselves of those roles, which I think is what we've been steadily doing, is those roles originally were developed. If you don't want to talk about God, let's not talk about God. They were developed by evolutionary biology and culture, which is a form of evolutionary biology in the end. They were developed by these things in order to mitigate against disease, death, famine, right? All of these things were built. You were a father because you were designed in order to create children and then protect those children and protect your wife. This is what you were created to do, right? Evolution has driven you to do this thing, which is why it's common across societies. These are the same thing is true of being a husband. The same thing is true of being a person who's curious about the world and seeking to create. Human beings have a natural propensity to create. Why? Because, again, creation allows you to provide more resources for your family. It also allows you to retain information for the future, right? All of these things are innovation, right? These are roles that human beings fulfill. And when you fulfill those roles, this is what makes life worth living. And so any system that destroys those things is a problem. Well, by becoming my favorite Bible verse lately has been a Bible verse that takes place in Deuteronomy, where it says Jeshurun got fat and kicked. And basically the idea is that Jeshurun being another name for Israel, the people of Israel, that we get fat and we kick. What it means is we get pretty self-satisfied, right? Death is far away. Disease is far away. All these things are far away. We don't need any of these roles anymore. We can explode all of those institutions. Do we need fathers in a society where somebody else can fill the bill, where money can come in and fit that bill? Do we need teachers in a world where you can just, kind of do what you want and you'll be taken care of? Do we need any of these roles? And the answer is, on a material level, no, you don't actually. You don't actually need those roles on a material level anymore. But guess what? Human beings were constructed to fulfill those roles, and I think one of the reasons you're seeing such chaos among men who feel completely lost, high levels of suicide, high levels of alienation, and among young women who are not engaging in I think, relationships that they feel are fulfilling. And you see, like, there was this video that was going around, if you saw this video from a podcast called Whatever, of this young woman, and she uses the word like about 27 times in the course of about 45 seconds. But what she's saying is she's talking about, I hate talking stages. Talking stage is the worst. I had to look it up. I'm too old. Apparently a talking stage is something that the youngins are doing in terms of dating, where they don't know whether they are dating or whether they are just hanging out or whether they're having sex or what exactly they're doing. And she feels obviously very dissatisfied with this situation. And the answer is we as a society exploded how these institutions are supposed to work. And then, of course, people feel chaotic and they feel lost. Those institutions are really, really, really important. There used to be an actual way that things were done. And those things were not just expressions of practicality. They were expressions of practicality because they were expressions of the human heart. And when you destroy those things, and when you liberate people, in a lot of cases, you're actually just releasing somebody outside of a spaceship and telling them to breathe. I mean, they're without a breathing apparatus. Like, okay, you're free. You don't have anything to rely upon. There's nothing impeding you. Also, there's no air. So, yeah, I think that's one of the big things that's happened here.